and there was this beautiful girl sitting in a chair, very composed, working. And people were coming and going and stuff. Do you want this? Waiters and stuff in the green room and people wanting access. And every once in a while, the girl would get up, say, "Oh yes," and she'd take a picture with somebody, and then she'd sit back down.
I was doing my history homework.
Picturing you doing
homework
if you were sitting there. Right?
It was a crazy night, but I had a paper to do the next day, and I was like, you know what? Priorities, priorities. So I was making sure that I was reading before I was singing, and then in between doing other things that night. So yeah, it was a fun event that we did at the Kowloon restaurant.
So when did the realization come that you had that kind of singing talent?
Oh my goodness. Well, I always thought I was going to be a basketball player growing up in elementary school, middle school, and even high school, but I always loved singing from a very young age, to Disney movies, to musicals, whatever it was on TV. I always had the soundtrack to it. And I always loved to sing in church as well. That was one of my big passions growing up. But it wasn't until high school that I joined a singing group at my school. I joined the a cappella group and 2 or 3 of the other choruses that were available. And then randomly my friends told me to try out for American Idol. And I had never really watched the show, but I decided to kind of do some research on it and get to know who Simon was, obviously, and get to know my history to see what I was going to go up against.
I'm curious what Dad's opinion is of Simon.
I'll let her talk.
So that's when I ended up trying out for the show, and I had no idea what the expectations were, but I went about it with an open mind and decided to do something fun and exciting before my senior year in high school started, because I was always playing basketball, but I loved to sing and I loved to do national anthems at local high school basketball games, and that's where I started learning the national anthem. And